We talked a little bit about the birth of VIP motoring and its main ingredient for success being our ability to adapt to change quickly and our ability to adapt to our marketplace even quicker. One of the main questions I get asked a lot by people is, in general, not really based upon VIP motoring or secret consulting or even secret entourage, but rather in general, what is the most important ingredient to have in order to be successful in business? Is it really, knowledge, or is it money? And, I try to think about my personal success as well as some of my friends' success in order to determine really what that ingredient is. And the more I think about it, the more I see this commonality in between all of us. And that commonality is quite simply our ability to continuously move forward without kind of looking back. What I mean by that is, a lot of times we get hung up a lot on obstacles when it comes to business. So a lot of us will recognize that, there's something preventing us from being successful. So let's say something comes up that we constantly think about when it comes to, let's say, why something can't happen in business, what we're lacking, the resources we don't have, this, like, the marketing we don't know about. So all of these things are obviously, if somebody had the answers to everything, then they wouldn't be in business anymore, because they would have already figured out everything, and anything they touch would turn to immediate gold, just because they would have all the answers. So with business, there's always, part of it is always unknown, because the same results can never be duplicated exactly the same based on, location, market, what you're exactly doing, how you're doing it, who's seen your product. So even in the cases of Instagram, when someone like Justin Bieber picked up the app and they got lucky that he used it, that particular action is not guaranteed to repeat itself. So there is one thing, though, to be noted, is that for them to have gotten to that level of success, they needed to have created something, and they needed to have put it in place, and it made it attractive so that somebody actually wants to use it. Somebody like Justin Bieber would want to use it so that it can blow up and become what it became. Now, a lot of people would say that the reason why it became popular would be because of a celebrity endorsement, but I really disagree with that. The reason it became what it became was because people put their words into action. They created something, they made it appealing, and then somebody used it. I don't think it was an endorsement from a celebrity, but rather a quality product that led to a person wanting to use it and wanting to participate in or be part of it. So, one of the ingredients that's made me very successful, and that's made a lot of my friends and people I know, like, Jordan over at ADV1, or individuals like Josh Cartu over in Budapest, very successful, is their ability to move forward with velocity. So when we get hung up on, like, issues, we don't come up with excuses why they're not happening, or lose 6-7 weeks and try to, kind of at that point revisit the issue. We figure out a solution immediately. I'll give you a good example. So I was just talking to my videographer about, like, how we were struggling to find a videographer for a long time. And he was laughing, and he was like, well, what are you going to do, record yourself? And I was like, well, yeah, actually, I recorded myself before. And he's like, well, what do you mean? Like, what do you run in front of the camera? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, the bottom line is, you see, we didn't have a videographer to shoot videos, so I couldn't do videos like I'm doing now. And, but I still wanted to share a message. Fine, it wasn't the highest quality, it wasn't the best video. I didn't have editing software, time, and resources. So what I did, for the moment, just because I didn't want to kind of lose the opportunity to still get my message out there, was I put a video camera on a tripod and I recorded myself. Was it what I wanted? No, which is why I ended up, going back to the drawing board and still hiring a correct videographer. But nonetheless, it was still kind of getting the action done. So back when we needed design is on, ways on improving Secret, and we honestly were so backed with so many things that was going on at Secret Entourage that we didn't have the time to go back and get something done. We had agreed that we needed some fresh design ideas. We had agreed agreed that we needed some new perspectives. But when it actually came time to doing it, we kept postponing it. And it was my ability to instantly identify and even go on something as simple as Facebook, find a creative director, someone else to run designs for me outside of my team, and instantly hire them so I don't lose time and only lose a few bucks trying to bring in new designs and ideas instead of waiting for months so my design team can move their ass and actually deliver what I need them to. Then that's how we get business to move forward. If someone can't do something, we don't look for a reason why they can't do it. We look for the solution to how to get it done. The biggest differentiator between people who make it in business and people who don't are the people who actually deliver on their goals and don't make excuses why they can't. You see, it's pointless if you fail, and it doesn't matter if you fail, as long as you have a solution to how you're going to get back up and try again. It's true failure when you fall and don't want to get back up. So, you know, when you're thinking of even failing, when you're in that stage where you might fail, instead of accepting defeat, you know, fight to the very end, but at the very least move forward as fast as you can, fail, then get back up and move forward again. Since you're always running, then you're always staying ahead. Even if you go back from time to time and tweak some of these things you've done and bring up the quality level. At the end of the day though, you've still brought up, you've still moved forward and you got things done, and it then forces you to go back and repair them and make them even better the second time around, rather than kind of dwell on the reason why it's not done. A good example of that would be, let's say you're writing a book. You can't come up with a great book cover because you haven't found the right guy to design it for you, but you have a book cover. You can always release your book and then re-release your book the second time. The idea of doing goes a lot further than the idea of thinking. And so it's important that in any business you get accustomed to constantly becoming a doer rather than a thinker. So you can think about strategy, but it's all about how much of it you put in play and how fast you put it in play. And then go back and tweak it and tweak it and tweak it until you got the right kind of mold. When we wanted to start Secret Entourage, we didn't know what we were doing. We started Secret Consulting. It sucked. Honestly, the blog format of it was so bad. We had no idea, but we still did something. We still wrote articles, we still put out content. Fine, you didn't love it, but you know what? It gave birth to something that you now love and that you now follow that helps motivate you. So ultimately, there is always value in doing, even if the final product is not final and perfect right from the beginning, even if it takes more work on the back end. The idea that you grow that momentum in business and you continuously grow just this functionality of moving forward, and your team and yourself move forward all the time, you can really deliver for yourself like an actual brand and tweak that brand over time to really represent what you believe in. But ideally, the most important part of that is to continuously deliver what it is, you know, and on an ongoing basis add actions to your day-to-day thinking. So always move forward is the main ingredient, I would say, throughout all my years. That's been the one thing that's always been in my favors. I've never wasted time. I've always moved forward. Even when some of my business partners are like, you know what, let's think about this. How do we want to go to town? I'm like, fuck it, just put it in play. Like, I always want actions before just talk. And I think that's one of them, that has been the most important ingredient that's established me both as a leader in corporate America, as well as a leader in the entrepreneur world. But more importantly, it's established me as a leader for those that want to follow me, because they definitely see the value of someone who's going to drive the momentum forward and help them kind of continue to grow, rather than dwell on ideas and try to come up with the perfect one before even implementing anything. So definitely something to consider. If you're not a doer, then start becoming a doer. And if you're a doer, then start moving forward much faster instead of wasting time.